Are you an Ironman player who's stuck with a Void Sword and End Armor and you don't know what to get next? Well, lucky for you, because in this video I'll be showing you what weapon do you go for after the Void Sword on an Ironman profile. So this weapon is the Hyper Cleaver. If you haven't heard of it before from other YouTubers' Ironman playthroughs, the Hyper Cleaver is an epic dungeon sword that can be purchased from the Ophelia NPC in the Dungeon Hub for 800,000 coins and a Super Cleaver. Obtaining the materials to get the Hyper Cleaver is pretty easy, but the only real hard part about getting the Hyper Cleaver is the Catacombs Floor 3 completion requirement. But if you're fine with getting carried a little bit up until Floor 3, this part shouldn't be that bad. So for the damage test, I'm going to be starting with the clean versions of both, then the fully enchanted versions with the Sharp Reforge, and finally the version with Enchants, a Reforge, and 5 stars. If you want more information about the test, it will be in the description of this video. So the clean Hyper Cleaver did 7,200 damage, and the clean Void Sword did 4,550 damage. The Enchanted and Reforged Hyper Cleaver did 22,760 damage, which is a crazy 15,000 damage jump, I know. And the Enchanted Reforged Void Sword did 12,840 damage. Finally, the starred Hyper Cleaver did 25,990, almost 26,000 damage, and the starred Void Sword did 14,000 damage. So the Hyper Cleaver is so much better than the Void Sword and a really big jump in damage. And keep in mind, this is with Ender Armor and Ender Equipment in the end, which meant that the Void Sword got a huge buff in strength. This is the Void Sword and Hyper Cleaver damage comparisons in the hub on Crypt Ghouls, by the way. So the Hyper Cleaver is definitely a great next choice after the Void Sword on Ironman if you don't mind getting carried, or if you just don't hate dungeons and skill issue as much as I do. Not even mentioning that if you wanted to, there's also another upgrade to the Hyper Cleaver, the Giant Cleaver, that you unlock after completing Floor 6. And like I mentioned earlier, since the Void Sword gets so much of its strength from Ender Armor, the two are basically chained together, whereas with the Hyper Cleaver it can survive pretty well on its own with different armor sets. With armor sets after Ender Armor though, to be honest with you, I haven't even gotten that far on my Ironman profile yet. But from watching other YouTubers play Ironman like Modcraft, I've seen that killing dragons and lost adventurers to get dragon armor is a pretty good next step. Anyways, that's it for this video. Hope it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.